that you see this live that I'm recording. Today is Happy New Year, January 3rd, I want to say. Is that right? It is 8 p.m. Okay. So I am feeling called to talk about healing the program of unworthiness. For those of you that don't know, my name is Sabrina, and wherever you're seeing this, I first recorded it on my Facebook, and then I probably will post it to my other platforms. And this is just going to be a free offering, complete in and of itself, talking about this program. So, a lot of times we have different programs that are running, and what is that? They're really just thought forms, or they're really thought forms, belief systems. They're literally how it sounds. They're programs that a lot of them are etched into our bodies over time, maybe from our ancestry, our lineage. And so these kind of thoughts and belief systems become a part of our everyday lives, and we don't even realize it. And one of the really big ones in our collective, and I've even found in myself, is this concept of unworthiness. This program of feeling or being, or that we are unworthy on some level. And so what I've done is I have a couple of different readings I'm going to start with about how to understand and identify this. Like, first, understand that this is not you. There's no form of unworthiness that is actually who you really are. I think that's like exciting in and of itself to understand that this isn't us. But I hear like, what do you mean? Like, this is something I lived with all my life, or this is the messages I've gotten from a variety of places, right? Like our families inadvertently, directly, society inadvertently, directly, like all like these messaging around unworthiness. And the truth is that it's actually not you at a core level, at a soul level. It never has been, and it never will be. And so I'm going to read from this book. In my work, a lot of my work in the spiritual realm, I really love spiritual law. I really love universal law. Like, how does energy work? Like, what is the law according to the divine, according to God? I know this can sound like a little bit woo-woo, and I know like we think of like the Bible, and, like in all traditions, there is essences. So please, come to this with an open mind, open heart. And I pray, and my intention is that this provides like the opportunity and the pivoting for your own internal inner work, healing, and your own connection with your true self that has always been worthy. There is no part of you that is unworthy in the eyes of the divine, in the eyes of God, in the eyes of source. Again, although in the face of a lot of different programming that's like, I see like this complex system, this web of like lies, of darkness, right? And so at the core of it is this root unworthiness, okay? And so I'm going to read this, and this is about self-denial. So the law states, he who judges himself unworthy shall indeed be denied worthiness. He who deems himself worthy shall flow in the mainstream of prosperity. Man is a multi-level being. The conscious mind, with its insecurities, may decide that it is unworthy of energies that are coming to it. But what is unworthiness? Is it fear? Is it lack of self-confidence? Is it awe? Is it all of them? In essence, it is judgment of self, okay? So you have heard many times that your Father, right, the divine, is divine love, right, and is incapable of imposing suffering upon you. Therefore, the imposition of suffering is truly your own manifestation. Denial is the imposition of suffering. To say to yourself that you are unworthy and therefore you must suffer and do without is self-denial. Whom are you unworthy in relation to? There is no one to compare yourself to but you. You are your temple. You have no right to deny the flow, the fluidity to God within you. Some will say that they deny themselves out of humility, right? They wish to be humble, quote unquote. They do not wish to give the impression that they are greedy or walking on ego or in ego, so they deny themselves. They are judging others' reactions to them, right? Like, that's manipulative in a sense, right? To act a certain way in order to have people to perceive you a certain way. For this decision, they are indeed walking in ego, right? For doing the exact that to make people perceive them a certain way. For they are placing themselves in a position of ascertaining that they know the reactions of others before they occur. Deny yourselves nothing. Receive all that is offered and tendered to you, for it is all yours. Allow it to come to you with open arms. Experience it, utilize it, and allow others to receive it from you. So this passage is like, part of me wishes I could share this, and maybe I will. I'll take the pages. Thank you for listening. For those of you that are still rocking with me and receiving this transmission and receiving this healing. It's really about self-judgment when we buy into this idea of unworthiness. And, there's no need to judge ourselves. There's no need, this false sense of humility is just that it's false. It's almost like in the opposite. Like, we are all children of God. We've all been created in God's image, right? And so if that is true, which it is, then for you to deny yourself worthiness when God has already deemed you worthy is actually arrogant and actually of the mind, and is actually, I don't know, it's like this weird inversion, like I keep getting. It's very mind-based, this energy. So again, what's really helpful here is like affirmations, a lot of self-love stuff. I'm feeling called to pull some cards for us. It's really about affirmations, self-love. I actually had some other stuff to read, but I'm feeling called to pull cards, so that's what I'm gonna do. All right, so just give me one moment as I get the cards for us. Yeah. All right, sorry, I got a little bit distracted. I grabbed another book. Okay, let's see what cards want to come through. What a transmission. Me moving around on camera. Okay. There. Okay. Oh, that's interesting. Those are not what I expected to grab. None of these are what I expected to grab. Okay, so I guess I'm going to do a reading. I think it has to do with our light and our dark. I was kind of getting that in the reading, in the reading of the passage as I was opening this. I'm just trying to trust y'all. So this is about as much about me practicing my faith as it is you and receiving the transmission. And I know that the theme is healing unworthiness, right? Like I know that much. That's what I've been guided to share. So I'm going to pull some cards around this and get some clarity for us. So it's like we have like these dark and light parts of us, right? Like, but a lot of the work is bringing light to the darkness, right? So let's see. Let's start with the dark. Okay, so angels, guardians, guides, what is the message around this and integrating and healing this programming around unworthiness, this self-judgment? What is the message for our highest good for those that are going to be here in this transmission? Yeah, it's about dropping the burden. I think a lot of us actually have become addicted to feeling unworthy and not recognizing our own power and not recognizing our ability to make small choices and small changes and shifts in our everyday, and even big choices and big decisions to shift our everyday, in order to open up to the blessings that are available to us, open up to what is ours truly. And so that's really what I'm getting from these two cards. Like, it's like wanting to like hold like all these burdens, and then like what it does is it blocks us, right? Because we're holding all this stuff that's not ours. So what is the advice around this? What is the advice around this? Yeah. It's about embracing our fortune. Wow, that's crazy. That's crazy. It's about embracing where we are, embracing the inner union that we've reached. I know that if you're here following this and like feeling called to be with me in this moment through time and space, that's what this is really about for us in healing this unworthiness. It's like recognizing like we've always been worthy, recognizing like this inner union that we have within us, recognizing the divine, Lakshmi, a lot of prosperity. So a lot of us that are experiencing issues with money, experiencing issues with prosperity, and prosperity is not just money, right? It can be a variety of things, like our gifts, like our everyday, like our spirituality, our inner peace. I'm hearing our relationships, the love, all the versions of love that we experience. That it really is about embracing our worthiness, embracing our deservingness, embracing us doing whatever makes us happy inside. And knowing that in that selfishness, in that choosing ourselves, that we are worthy enough to choose ourselves, that God, worthy enough to write and celebrate, right? Our own inner feminine, right? Be inspired, right? To actually, be our true selves. Wow, what a transmission. I didn't expect it to go like this. I didn't really know what I expected. Yeah. Temptation is at the bottom of the deck. Yeah, it's like this temptation to go into this being in our heads. And it's about being in our bodies, being in our mind, being in our hearts. Whew, this takes practice, I know, like for a lot of us, but also at the same time, it doesn't. It's a choice by choice thing. So the message is like, when we manipulate, we're really afraid of asking for what we want. So like when we're manipulating, like through this false sense of humility, we're afraid of asking for the love that we want. Like a teacher released a word this week, and he was like, either you're crying for God or everything else, or everything else is a cry for God. Like either you're loving God and calling out to God, or your actions are crying out to God. And so there's no brownie. There's no brownie points. There's no one way to go to God. And we're coming into a time where we can access God, access the divine, access source, access our true selves through love, through unconditional love, through supporting ourselves, through being honest with our dreams, being honest with our hearts, really asking for what we want, and like how our heart can be open or afraid. And like, there's so many actions that we take to protect us from great disappointment. But in truth, that's a part of it too. It's like no one can disappoint us if we disappoint ourselves. Wow. We're coming out of that now. It's all just a loop. It's all not real. It all served its purpose. It's all not ours. You can pray to ask who you really are, to know who you truly are. You can connect with God and really ask to know the true God, the God of love, the God of inclusion. These are things all of us, any of us can do. We all have access to the divine. We all have access to source. It's just a matter of asking and intention and setting aside time and finding the activities and the people and the places and the things that bring us closer to God, the source. I guess that's why I talk about God, because like for me, in truth, like that's the only thing that is certain. Like that's the truest thing I can bring anyone to, is your own version of your connection with your higher power. That's the most certain thing I can bring. Like, there are no certainties in what will happen or not happen, but there are certainties in your soul development and your perception and your ability to weather and go through different events with a completely different perception because you're closer to God. God is really all that's real. Yeah. Yeah, when we fear rejection, we literally play out that rejection. When we fear being the victim or victimizer, we play that out. It's all about awareness. Okay, that feels complete. I really want to get some more cards on. I really wanted to get some affirmations, but I can't find them right now. So feel free to message me and I'll get them to you. But yeah, that really feels complete. Yeah, I just want to get some affirmations for us. But I don't remember what I did with that deck. I keep seeing it in my mind's eye, the deck for affirmations. Yeah. All right. Sending so much love and Happy New Year. Let me see if I find the affirmation deck. I'm about to close out. Yeah, for some of us, we need to take a break. Get off the treadmill. A lot of the wisdom and the guidance we're seeking is going to come to us when we're resting. Come to us when we're doing like the things that that are, you know, not putting us on the hamster wheel, right? And just also trusting that everything's coming together, that you're always going to be guided to the folks and the people that you need to be guided to. Yeah, it's always in divine time. There's a lot shifting in the spiritual realms. And so, you know, just go with it. Yeah, go into your inner temple. Like, it's about devotion. Wow, I really, really, really want to get you guys some affirmations. So I'm going to find that deck. I'm going to log out now. And then I will get y'all some affirmations. Yeah. I just don't know what I did with that deck. Let me see if I find it now. No, I'm not going to. Oh, all right. I have this deck. We'll use this one. Okay. So what practices can help us in healing, you know, this program of unworthiness, right? Like this, like, yeah, right? Like, because it's just a program. It's not really us, right? And it's over now. Like, it's not cute to walk around. Like, I just keep seeing, like, the monks or, like, the priests and the nuns who used to, like, whip themselves, like, and for suffering and stuff. It's just not it. Okay, so here is some of the advice for healing this program to take with you. Give yourself credit. Ooh, I love it. Give yourself credit. Look how far you've come. People don't need to know how far you've come. God knows, and you know, and even the people who are around you, this is weird. Even like haters, like, no, like this is weird. You know, so give yourself credit. Do you shy away from taking credit? Downplay your contributions? Practice doing the opposite. Start writing down your past accomplishments. Pull up your resume, your portfolio, or whatever else will jog your memory. Be as objective as possible. Resist the urge to add caveats or to explain away your achievements. Simply state the facts. You can make this process easier for your future self by keeping a running list of all that you've done. Once you've got it all down, read your list. Take a moment to honor your accomplishments. You did all that, and there's more to come. Okay, I really love that message. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you, guides. Thank you, guardians, angels, divine, holy masters. I like, you know, it's a really good ending to this video. I just knew like I wanted to give y'all like some kind of like activities or like, because we kind of like opened up so much in the beginning about this programming and about really getting rid of like really re-energetically fixing this programming, realigning, right? And so The next piece of advice here is what's unsaid. When your friend says that she's fine, you look for context to see what she really means. There might be an unspoken, I'm overwhelmed or I'm scared. We're used to using body language and tone for context in our conversations with others. Do you examine your internal conversations for what is left unsaid? See, it's about going internally, right? Your racing heart might lead you to the insight you've been missing. The thought you're not giving voice to might be exactly what you need to address. Get curious and seek context. These are gifts waiting in what's unspoken. Yeah, right? Like we even talked about earlier, just to tie this in, like when we're manipulating or trying to have people perceive us a certain way, it really is a cry for love. It's a cry for God, right? It's a cry for some kind of self-validation we can give ourselves, you know? And so it really is about really taking the time to give yourself that. And I know that's not easy. I know I'm not saying it is, but I'm saying it's possible. And you have to believe it's possible, right? Like you have had so much love to give. You give so much love. So why wouldn't you be able to practice giving that to yourself? You'll feel so much fuller. You'll feel so much wholer. You'll feel so much more fulfilled. And in connecting with the divine, connecting with your inner connection with source, it's infinite. It's, you know, this is the time to do this stuff now, family. And so follow the path is our last piece of advice here. You're going places, but where exactly are you headed? Your life is an accumulation of days. Each day is a step in one direction or another. Take some time to follow the path. If you keep showing up the way you have been this month, where will you end up this time next year, in 5 years? And most importantly, how do you feel about that outcome? Your path is your choice. Where will it lead? Yeah. And it's based on how we feel about ourselves, right? Right? It's based on how we feel about ourselves, right? Yeah. And so it's really about taking the time to be with yourself, to seek help, right? I have not done any of this transformation on my own. I've had so much support in so many ways, unseen and seen. So it's really, really about tapping into all of that. Yeah, you can do it, family. You've already done it. Wow, what a transmission. So in so much love and so much light, I am, just praying that this lands and plants the seeds for you in unearthing some of these weird programs that we've been programmed with since childhood. So for some of us, eons, decades, ages, lifetimes. And really replanting in and filling it up with worthiness, that you are worthy, and opening up to the possibility of your worthiness, opening up to the possibility that everything is serving your highest good, opening up to the possibility that everything that's falling apart around you is so that better things can be built based on a true foundation. And really the foundation is unconditional love. The foundation is the divine. The foundation is God. And that foundation begins within your heart. There are no dreams that are put in within your heart that are there to make you feel less than, that are there to never be realized. Now is the time to access your dreams and do something every day, right? Rome wasn't built in a day, kind of keeps coming through. So it's like, what little steps can you take today? What steps can you take to follow the path? And so I'm going to leave this up, and I will take this and post the live in its entirety on my YouTube. So for those of you that are wishing to get the full transmission with the healing unworthiness, you can receive it with so much love. All right. Peace be with you, family, until our next video, interaction, workshop, all of the above. Okay. Bye.